Hello everyone, welcome. So today our topics are going to be about work ethic and core values. So first we're going to start on work ethic. Well, you know what? Let's start on core values first. So I talked about this in my YouTube video. I put out a video last week about core values, and then this week was about work ethic. So let me just get that up. Okay, so I actually wrote a blog post about core values. You guys can check that out later today. I'll have that posted. So how to find your core values, I give 3 simple tips. And core values are very important. It's basically what you believe in, what you live by on a day-to-day basis. And I think it's very important to establish those core values or personal values. To know it helps determine, what you believe is right or wrong and what you do on a day-to-day basis. So it's very important to have those core values in place, and it also goes hand in hand with work ethic. Work ethic, you have these principles and these values that you go by, and it determines, what you do in the workplace or just what you do in general for work and how hard you decide to work. So it's very, very important. So, okay, core values. So again, what are core values? So core values are traits and qualities that determine what you prioritize in life, personally and in business. So they are very, very important. So when you live a life that aligns with your core values, everything in life flows better. When you live different than what your core values are, your life is not quite in order, and you definitely feel off balance and like something is wrong, something is not right. I'm living one way, but then I'm saying that these are my core values. So I'm saying I'm honest, but then every single day I'm telling a little white lie. It doesn't matter if it's a little white lie, you're still lying regardless. So that's why it's very, very important to, again, not only establish personal values, but take inventory of those core values, and are you living by those core values? That is a very important question to ask yourself. So moving on, why do you need core values? Your core values are a part of how you are living your life daily. Like I said, your core values determine how you operate your business. If you have a business, if you don't have a business, they determine how you work in the workplace. Are you getting along with your coworkers? Are you being honest? Do you have integrity? Those are very important qualities to have. And they're qualities that, we're being quite frank, not everybody has in the workplace, especially these days. So as people, we are always growing, we're always learning, we're always changing. After carefully determining your core values, visit them monthly, like I said, to make sure your lifestyle complements them. So we, again, want to make sure once we set those core values that we are living by those core values. And again, we're always constantly changing and evolving. So maybe your core values might change. So, visit them monthly or visit them annually to really decipher if there's something that you want to change about your core values that isn't the same anymore. So that is very important, and I recommend choosing about 3 to 5 core values. So examples of core values would be, working hard work, integrity, honesty, transparency. Things of that nature would be examples of core values. Okay, so getting into how do you find your core values? So you want to choose what resonates with other people. That is my first tip. And let me explain what I mean. So for example, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to keep in mind your community or your customer, depending on what your product is or what your brand is. You want to keep them in mind. So what would they consider valuable? What would they consider most important? So yes, you want to consider absolutely yourself and your values, but you want to attract them, you want to build a community, or you want to sell a product, you want to have them in mind. So there must be a deeper meaning to all of your core values. A way to form them is by attaching a meaning to each core value. So you write value statements, for example, when you are coming up with your core values. So, for example, core value would be impactful. So the deeper meaning, I impact others by showing them how to start a business with no money. So maybe I have a YouTube channel about side hustles and making extra income. I am impacting my audience by informing them about this knowledge on how they can make money and start a business with no money. So that is a great example. So that deeper meaning is going to really help you realize that purpose behind what you do from day to day, and that establishing that core value. And it's going to clarify to others what you stand for as well. Okay, so now we are going to move into our second tip, which is find your core values through an example. And what I mean by this is finding someone who is a role model to you. So find a role model. That could be a professor or a teacher or a celebrity. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. Any of those works. Just find an example for you to kind of emulate, or for you to look up to and feel inspired by. That's a word. Inspired by. You want to be inspired by this role model. So that is a great place to start. So after you choose this one person, think about why you're choosing this person. Think about what attracted you to this person. So why did I choose this person, and what attracted me the most? What qualities do they have that I'm so attracted to that I chose to emulate some of the qualities that they have? That's an important question to ask yourself. What is most attractive about their qualities? What is most attractive about their characteristics? Write that down, and that's going to help you to determine, what you see within yourself that they have. And that's going to help you determine your core values ultimately. Another question is, what do you admire most about this person? Do you admire that they're very generous? Do you admire that they're always giving to people in need? They're always willing to donate. They're always willing to start, food drives or auctions or things like that help people who are in need. So that's really going to help you to establish those values. And this should just really help lead you and guide you into what resonates most with you and your core. So my example of a role model is Michelle Obama. I think she is absolutely wonderful and a great role model. She is classy, she's intelligent, she's an elegant lady, and she's just very well-rounded. I admire her strong work ethic and inability to quit when faced with adversity. I appreciate her authenticity. So another core value, authenticity. So that is my example and my role model. Moving on into tip 3. Tip 3 would be self-awareness is key. You want to have self-awareness. You want to be aware of your flaws. You want to be aware of your imperfections. You want to be aware of what you're good at and what you're strong at. That is very important when trying to determine your core values. So I said that one of the keys to defining your core values is knowing who you are. Again, being self-aware. It's important to know who you are and what you truly represent. It's important to just be honest with yourself. Know who you are, what you represent, and why you represent it. You want to make a list of all the qualities that you possess. Ask yourself, if you live by the values you are claiming to live by on a daily basis, are you being honest with yourself? Are you being truthful with yourself? Do you actually live by these values? Do you actually possess these qualities? Or are you being easy on yourself and telling yourself that you're this honest person, that you have integrity? You have to be honest with yourself. Okay, moving on. In addition, you want to keep in mind how other people view you. So how do other people view you from the outside? So it's not just about you and how you view yourself. How do other people view you? That's also a great determining factor on your core values and what you do on a daily basis and how you live by a daily basis. How people perceive you, basically. So understand what others think about you and think about how to respond to others when in difficult situations. So how do you respond to others when you're in difficult situations? Are you respectful? Are you being honest? Are you caring? Are you being caring? Do you have that empathy? Those are important things to think about when, again, establishing these personal values. This is a big deal, and you definitely want to take it seriously when establishing them. So that is very, very important. We are going to move on into my questions, which are just the same thing I've been kind of reiterating. So if you have core values already established, what are you living by those core values that you already have established? Definitely think about that. Also, think about, does your lifestyle match up with the core values that you have in place? Do both of those match up? That is important to think about also. So now we're going to move into a little bonus section that I wasn't going to include but decided to include. So my bonus section is basically the reflection questions that I think you should definitely reflect on and answer. Sit in a quiet place by yourself. Again, take this seriously and answer the following questions. And I think these are really going to help guide you into finding your core values. So the first question, take some time to reflect on who you are. So who am I? For example, I am a shy person. I'm a quiet person. I would consider myself someone who has integrity, someone who is honest, someone who likes to do the right thing, someone who is generous. So take some time to reflect on who you are as a person and how other people view you. So I would also say other people would view me as that as well. How do you speak? Think about how you speak, what kind of language you use. That's important as well. Are you using not so nice language, or are you being respectful to others and respectful of their time and respectful when you're having conversations with them? What is your personality type? So again, like I said, I'm pretty just meek, pretty shy, pretty laid back. Are you someone who, is very outgoing, someone who is loud? Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but someone who is loud, someone who likes to talk a lot. So you need to identify what your personality is. Next, what do you consider right or wrong? So those core values determine what you consider right and what you consider wrong. So what do you consider right and what do you consider wrong? That is very important to establish. Absolutely very, very important. To me, one of the most important to establishing those core values. So do I think it's right that, people are, getting hurt because of their skin color? Do I consider that right or wrong? Or do I think it's their fault? Do I think it's their fault, or do I think it's the police fault? What side do you lie in? What side are you on? Are you on the everybody, against racism? Or are you it's white versus black? What do you consider right? What do you consider wrong, for example? And then the last question is, what qualities do you find important for a person to have? So what qualities, again, kind of going back to your role model, what qualities attracted you to them for you to set them as your role model? What qualities do they possess? What kind of personal qualities do they have? So that is another important question that you want to ask yourself. And I love reflecting. It's such a wonderful thing to do. And it's something that I do literally every single day. I just love reflecting and thinking on life and thinking on, different situations and different things I've gone through and kind of just reflecting. Honestly, it's great to do. I love to do it daily, and I think it'll be a great thing for you to do as well, and a great thing to practice Another thing that is great to do is just being mindful, being present in this current situation you're in. So if you're eating lunch, be present and eat lunch instead of, watching TV or watching something on YouTube or watching something on Instagram. Just be present, enjoy your meal, and just relax and just let your thoughts be your thoughts. So those are all my tips on how to find your core values and how I found my core values. I hope you found that helpful. And now we're going to move into work ethic, because both of those definitely go hand in hand with one another. Okay, so work ethic. So first question would be, what is work ethic? So a set of values centered on the importance of doing work and reflected especially in a desire or determination to work hard. That is the Merriam-Webster definition of work ethic. So again, values centered on the importance of doing work. So again, kind of going back to that core values. Reflected especially in desire or determination to do hard work. So do you desire to do hard work? Are you determined to do hard work? Don't let anyone stop you from doing that. You don't have to let anyone stop you from being determined and keep going forward and pushing towards your goals. I know I'm not. Okay, so the qualities of someone with strong work ethic. I think that's the next great thing to start to talk about. So the qualities would be someone who is reliable. So again, this can be personal, or this also ties into, working a job or having a business. But are you reliable? Are you someone that, a friend can call and say, hey, are you able to take care of my business while I go to a doctor's appointment? I'm sorry, let me get some water. That sounds kind of like crazy. So are you reliable at work? Are you someone that, a coworker can go to and say, hey, I'm going on my break. Can you watch, these are not coworkers. Can you watch these? I worked at a hospital. So for example, can you watch my patients while I go on my break? Are you someone reliable that others can trust? Are you professional? So again, I worked in a hospital. Are you showing up in your scrubs every day? Are you wearing clean scrubs every day? Are you showing up, on time for your shift every day? Those are very important things that someone, a manager or coworkers, they want to see to again, know that you are reliable. You're professional, you're reliable. Again, these qualities really just go hand in hand. And these qualities are really basic, simple qualities that you would think all humans would have, but they don't. The next quality is just being cooperative. So are you cooperative when it comes to making a decision, like what restaurant are we going to go to, or what movie are we going to see with like friends, or I don't know, with friends, or, with your significant other, like, I don't know, just being cooperative and not just being so like difficult of a person to be around. Like nobody wants to be around you because you don't ever want to cooperate. You don't ever want to find a middle ground. For example, being cooperative at work. So if the manager tells you to do something, are you talking back, or are you just doing it because it is for the better good of the company? It's not something to harm you. It's just a daily task that you need to perform that maybe you didn't perform, or maybe you always slack off and the manager is reminding you need to do it. So that is something really important to think about. Next, are you responsible? So this is a big one. Are you being responsible when you're given duties at work? So if you're told to do this, and that, if you're told to, wipe off the equipment, organize the equipment, and restock any equipment that needs to be restocked, are you doing that? Or again, are you talking behind your manager's back, or are you complaining about doing those things? Or are you just doing those things and being responsible even if your manager isn't telling you to do those things? Are you completing your job? Are you taking your job seriously and completing all tasks that you have? That is very important. Another quality is having integrity. So doing the right thing when no one is watching. So you want to be honest. You want to have that integrity when no one is watching. Are you doing the right thing? Or are you, oh, no one's watching, so let me not wipe down this equipment. Oh, no one's watching. The manager isn't here today, so let me not worry about, putting this equipment away and organizing this equipment. No one's watching, so you know what? I don't have integrity. So you know what? Everybody bought my ebook, so, they bought my ebook. It's really only worth, $20. Let me charge them $100 because, they're just so desperate for this knowledge and their information. I'm just going to charge them $100 for it. I know they'll buy it. I don't know. Do you have integrity? That is very important as well. Punctual. Are you on time? Are you on time? This is something I'm not going to lie, I struggle with. I struggle with being on time to pretty much all my jobs. I'm just going to be transparent here. I struggle with being on time to all my jobs. So it's something I'm definitely working on. It's weird because I like being on time, and I am on time for the most part, most of the time. But then there's a good chunk of the time I am not being punctual. I'm not being on time. And I don't know why, but that has been a bit of a struggle for me for a while. So it's like, yes, I'm on time and I'm doing my job and I'm doing what I need to do. But then at the same time, I'm late for a good majority of the time. I'm not even going to lie. So that is something I need to work on. And that is a great quality to have when it comes to determining if you have a strong work ethic. The last quality I want to talk about is respect. Are you respecting your friends, your families? Are you respecting your coworkers when you're at work? So just showing them respect in all meanings of that word. Are you respecting them, or are you taking advantage of them? Are you taking advantage of their time, and you're taking advantage of the generous things that they do for you in a day? Or are you respecting who they are, being respectful of their time, and just respecting them as a person, being respectful of what you say to them, what you ask them to do when on the job, and just being honest with yourself and being respectful. So again, simple, basic qualities that you would think all humans would have, at least ones that are working certain jobs, but they don't have them. I've seen it. They don't. And it's really sad. But it is what it is. That is the reality of today's time. Just going to get another drink of water, and we're going to go into what is important to understand when it comes to work ethic. So when it comes to work ethic, it's important to understand that this is this is coming from your foundation. So there's a foundation of this is having the values and principles in place that you live by. So it's important to have, again, these values and principles in place that you're living by. And this kind of determines how hard you work. Do you have strong work ethic? How much effort are you putting forth towards your dream? You have a dream of becoming a motivational speaker. How much effort are you putting toward that every single day, to work toward that, to study your craft, do your homework, study your craft, study, role models, studying your information, whatever your niche is. Are you putting your best foot forward? Are you putting your best effort forward? And that is very important to do. And just something very important to establish that strong work ethic. This even means, like I said, when I was talking about jobs. So this even means when you are working your job, or when you're not working your dream job. So when you're not working a job you want to work, is that work ethic still showing through? Do you still have strong work ethic? Are you still putting your best foot forward? Are you trying and doing all you can? Are you completing all your tasks at work? Are you being respectful? Are you being responsible? Are you being punctual, even when this isn't the job you truly want? That is very important. And that's important to ask yourself, am I really doing everything I can? Am I really doing everything in my power to present this strong work ethic that I truly want? Even if you're working on your dream, like I said, are you doing everything that you need to do to achieve this dream? Do you have that strong work ethic to work for yourself to achieve this dream? That's important to ask yourself. So moving on, these are some questions that I want you to seriously ask yourself. So again, moving into reflection questions. So the first question, do you have strong work ethic? So that's the first question you want to ask yourself. Do you have strong work ethic? Do you feel like you put your best foot forward? And I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to me, I don't feel like I always put my best foot forward. I don't feel like I'm always putting the most effort toward my work, especially when it comes to myself, and mainly when it comes to myself. Think about it. If you're working a job, you're working a 9 to 5, you put so much effort, so much trust, so much of your all, so much of yourself into that job. But you don't want to give yourself all that effort. You don't want to give yourself, all of yourself to work on your dream or achieve your dream or something that you really want to do. But you will, rely on that job and trust in that job and believe in that job, but you won't do the same for yourself, and you won't do the same for your own dream. So that's something really important to ask yourself. Do you have strong work ethic when working your job? Maybe you're working your 9 to 5. And most importantly, do you have that strong work ethic when you're working on your dream? Next, I want you to identify why your work ethic isn't the best. So why don't you feel like you're putting your best foot forward? Do you feel like you're not putting your best foot forward because it's not your dream job? It's not something you really want to do? What do you think shaped you not having good work ethic? That's the next thing I'm moving into. Do I feel like my past has shaped why I don't have good, work ethic, have strong work ethic? Do I feel like it's shaping why I don't work hard? So, maybe to an extent you come from some kind of privilege, or, you didn't really have to work that hard growing up. Maybe you didn't have to have a job, as a teenager, or you didn't have to get a job when you were like 13 or 14 years old. So that's something really to consider and think about. Go back to, when you were younger and really reflect. Did I have to work hard for this, or did my parents always give me, everything I really needed? Not needed. Yes, they're going to give you what you needed. You need what you need. But did my parents always give me what I wanted? Did they always get me, the newest watch, the newest handbag, the newest video game? Ask yourself that. That could definitely tie into why you don't have the strongest work ethic. Last question. Do I work according to my personal values and principles? So this just goes back into establishing those core values or those personal values, and what principles are you living off of? So the principle, if you're wondering, is just a foundation of your belief or your behavior. So you see how this all ties into one another, the work ethic and the personal values. So are you living according to these personal values that you have put in place? That's going to determine your work ethic as well. And ultimately, how hard you're working, how strong you're working, and all that good stuff. So now we're going to move into the tip. So 5 ways for you to improve your work ethic. Number 1, be consistent. So go to work, be punctual, be respectful to your coworkers, be respectful towards your family, come to work on time, like I said, and perform all your duties every single day. Do what you need to do. Take care of your responsibilities every single day. Be consistent across the board. That's a great way to improve your work ethic. Number 2, you want to cut out distractions. So being on the cell phone would be one distraction. I know that definitely always distracts me. Listening to YouTube, always consuming all this content of other people's. That's it, right? Always consuming other people's content on YouTube or maybe a podcast. Like, those can be major distractions when you're working. Gossiping, that's another major distraction when you are working. Number 3, you want to operate in your strengths. So you want to focus on what you are best at and allow someone to pick up where you're weak at. There's always going to be someone to pick up where you're weak at. They're going to be strong in your weaknesses. Don't worry about that. Don't stress about that. Just operate at what you're good at and stay in your niche and focus on what you're strong at. For example, if you're a YouTuber, you can outsource making thumbnails. You can outsource editing content by going to Fiverr or Upwork, which is what I talked about in my most recent video about work ethic. Those are things you can always pay for. You can always get someone to help you in. You don't have to worry. You don't have to stress about not being good at those things. You don't have to play every role. That is most important to remember. It's okay not to be good at this and that and that and that. It's okay. Just stay in the role you're best at. Number 4. Okay, so you want to do everything in excellence. So do everything in excellence. That's literally what that means. You want to do your job the best way you can. You don't have to be the most talented. That's the main thing. You don't have to be the most talented at that job or at that task, but you can certainly outwork people. If you have really strong work ethic, you can outwork them. You don't have to worry about that. Just because they're talented doesn't mean they have the best work ethic, doesn't mean they're working the hardest and they're doing their job and they're, reliable and respectful and, they have integrity. No, but you might have those things and you can outwork them. Number 5, you want to be confident. You want to be confident in what you are able to do. Be confident in your abilities and own it. Don't let lies that are spoken over you take control of you. Don't believe the lies, basically what I wanted to say. Don't believe the lies that have been spoken over you. You are not incompetent. You are not dumb. You are not stupid. You are perfectly willing and able to perform the job. You might be better at the job than they are. Just remember, they're speaking from their own insecurities, their own hurt, and their own pain. So don't let somebody tell you you're not qualified. Don't let somebody tell you you're not competent. Know that you are willing and capable to do the job, like I just said, so you can do it. Believe in yourself. Okay, so we talk about work ethic. We talked about your core values. That is everything, guys. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm super happy we got through all of that. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate you guys' time. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any other ideas, definitely comment what you want me to discuss on a future video. Again, I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow for more videos like this. And I will talk to you guys next time.